hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. And this week, our topic is how to determine if a returnship is a fit for you. So we hear a lot about returnships.
Came up today.
It comes up with our students all the time, with our clients that are returners. And I think it's really important to just first have an understanding of what a returnship is.
Sure.
So do you want to give a description of that?
So a returnship is a mid-career internship, and it typically follows a defined period of time, usually 4 to 6 months. And during that time, the candidate gets to become introduced to a company, learn about the structures of the organization, the culture, but also the returnships are aligned with just certain jobs and departments. So let's say you're an accountant, maybe you took a 10-year career break, you want to get back in, but a lot of things have changed in tax law and tax code and the tools that we use to even compute our taxes. So you're not feeling quite ready to just dive back in. It's an easy on-ramp back into employment. Often there are not guarantees, there's never a guarantee, but there are suggestions of employment, opportunities for employment at the end of the defined period. The pay is pretty low during that period, but that's because in the process of doing some work, you're also learning. And they become very popular. They came out, I think, in the probably early 2000s, mid 2000s, and they've probably like 2005.
Great. Okay, so how does a career returner know if a returnship is a fit for them? Because not everybody needs a returnship.
That's right.
You know,
but that's the key right there.
Yeah.
So I've said this to you before. I'm concerned that we've created this culture among women who've taken career breaks. And remember, a career break could be a year or it could be 25 years. But we've created this sense of agency among career returners that a returnship is the only way back to work. And they are a great way back to work for some people, but not all people need them. Not all women, for the most part, need them. So generally, if you are looking to pivot into something new, that would be a really good case for doing a returnship. Particularly if it's kind of related. You're not going to go from being a professional baker into being a lawyer by doing a returnship. So if you have, the core skills, but you're changing them, if you're going maybe from accounting to audit or from programming to application development, pivot that way, a returnship can be very helpful. If you've had a really long break, and by long, we're talking, 7, 10, 15, 20 years.
You really need that ramp, right? To grow back your confidence, to, make connections again, to even see if this is work you want to be doing, right?
That's another piece, because at the end of the returnship, you can just walk away.
Right.
And so those are reasons that you might want to just really look into a returnship. But there are some candidates, and we've had a couple in our courses, that have only had a shorter gap, but they have had a real compromise of confidence. Maybe they're trying to get into a bigger organization than they'd ever worked, and they will look at returnships as well. I think the thing we want to make sure that people are clear on is that if you've done work during your career break, even if it's been volunteer work or gig work, if you have current skills, don't assume that you need to take a low-paid internship for 6 months with no guarantee of employment in lieu of just going out there and pitching yourself. Because we see it all the time. The majority of our candidates don't do returnships and they land jobs. And what's our average? It's probably our average is probably somewhere around 7 to 10 year gap, right? Yeah.
Okay, so how do we find them? How do we find returnships?
So I relaunched, Carol Fisherman Cohen's company has done a really good job, and she was kind of the leader in the whole movement of helping companies establish returnship programs. So most of the major companies have them, and most of them are done in partnerships with company like Carol's company or like Path Forward, Tammy Farm's company. And they're well-organized programs that happen sequentially throughout the year. There's a big application process. And we talked to one candidate, one student of ours said there were like 3,000 applicants. They can be very competitive. Right. So the big companies in finance, big companies in tech, big companies in manufacturing. The key is, though, you don't need to apply through one of these programs. You can create it. So 15, 18 years ago, when I was working at my last company, we were a flexible workplace consultancy, and we did recruiting and placement. And we did it all the time. We'd say to a company, you know what, or a candidate, you're not ready to go full-time yet. You're not even sure it's a right fit. Go in there and pitch yourself to the hiring manager in this interview. You know what might work better? Why don't we do a 4-month trial?
Right.
You can pay me hourly. Let me have a chance to get my feet wet. In her mind, she's thinking,
Yes,
gain my
yeah.
confidence back.
Yeah.
Let you have a chance to test me out. I test you out. And then at the end of the 4 months or the end of the 6
Yeah.
months, we can revisit.
Yeah.
So just remember, that's an easy conversation for you to have without having to feel like you have to throw your hat in the ring with lots and lots of other women for a very select number of spots at Goldman Sachs, which may not even be where you want to work.
Yes.
Okay.
So there you have it. How do you know if a returnship is for you? If you liked our content today, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We bring out new content every Monday, and you can also find us at www.preparetolaunchu.com.
You said the com first. You get it.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.